We're going to start again now. That's right, everybody. It's another week, which means it's another episode of Ears Up in Depth with my close personal friend, Jeremy from SpectralRadio.us. I want to get the whole URL in there for you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
We're here today talking about the latest and greatest in Disney news. How are you, Jer?
I'm good. It is another week.
That's right. Man, if there's one thing you can bet your money on, it's that this is another week.
What if it wasn't another week?
And it was like Blurbs Day.
What would that
Bars
be?
Day. Or like, I don't know, what is a new day now?
Right. We have to have other weeks.
That's true.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I don't know, man. Okay, today was a hard day for your boy. It was hard
why?
parenting day.
Oh.
So you're not on Twitch. You don't have a Twitch account. You're not
No.
a Twitch boy, right?
No, I don't even know what it is, really.
It's a site for spasmatics. No, it's
You play games and people watch you.
Yes, you play games and people watch you, and that's basically what it is. And we broadcast our show over there too sometimes. But after the last Ears Up main show, which was the history of Sleeping Beauty Castle that Taryn did, that you guessed on, which is good. It kept popping out notifications that we were live on Twitch. And so I was getting texts and emails, and Taryn kept telling me, and I kept getting them in my feed and my email. Here's your streaming summary, 23 hours.
Oh God, do you have to pay for that?
Well, no, because it wasn't actually streaming anything.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what was going on, but it was letting people know that we were online, which is what it's supposed to do. So if we went online right now, if we went live on Twitch, which we're not today because I'm trying something out, it would throw an email to everybody who follows us saying Ears Up is now live.
Sure.
People
just
were
like YouTube does.
Right. And people were getting those notifications 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh God.
For like a week. Right. And so I finally
Did anybody complain?
Well, I mean, like I said, people notified me, but that's about it, because I can't control it. That's an automatic email that's generated from Twitch. I can't do anything about it. I wasn't going live. The only thing I could do to stop those is not go live. But I wasn't going live. I wasn't doing anything. So I sent them an email, and then today I just changed the password. I'm like, if this stops it, then it has to be something on our streaming service on OBS or something like that, the software we actually use. I don't know. It's very weird. So to any of you, people who follow us on Twitch, I apologize if you're getting those really annoying things, man. I don't know what to do about it. And we'll see. I have a support ticket in at Twitch, and we'll see if they can help me out.
Well, it's exhausting.
I know. So I don't know, man. Anyway, but we do have some good Disney news here. I got some cool hot things right off the press.
A lot happening.
Yeah, kind of is too, and it's I don't know. It's once again a weird time in the Disney news sphere. But what's not a weird time is to drink a beer from the 21st Amendment, because they are ready for the fall season with their latest release, Hell or High Mango. Hell or High Mango is made with real fruit, slightly sweet. Hell or High Mango is made with real fruit and is sweet, slightly tart. With tropical floral flavors and aromas, it's a perfect beer to enjoy during this fall time of year as the colors in the season change. Behind all the great mango flavor that you will experience and aroma is a wonderful wheat beer with its biscuity, light bready notes, and at a mere 4.9% ABV, it's even more enjoyable. Hell or High Mango is available across the country where 21st Amendment beer is sold. Go out and enjoy a Hell or High Mango today.
What's going on with pomegranate?
I don't know when it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out at some point soon. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with pomegranate.
Come on.
I don't know.
Don't leave me hanging with the pomegranate.
I think they're gonna do more sort of like cool, lighter fruit editions moving forward with that series. It sounds like. I don't know.
How about kiwi? I'd like to submit some suggestions.
Email Sully. I
will.
Give out his email address, but you follow him. You just DM him with some.
I can get in touch with him if I need to.
Pawpaw fruit or whatever. I don't know. All right, Jeremy. Well, hey, my first story today is about everybody's favorite, Radio Disney.
Radio Disney. Now,
I don't know.
Is that an actual Is that a network? Like, what is Radio Disney? I mean,
It's
I guess I've heard of it.
Yeah, I mean it's a like they own a bunch of radio stations, and it was a place on your dial where you go to and you listen to Disney music. Or not Disney music, but it's like pop music and music from their
Yeah.
shows and movies and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's not Disney music. I feel like it's like Raven Simone a lot.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, maybe it would have been, but now someone else, whoever their new child that they're taking advantage of is.
Yeah, basically. Well, and the last time I heard about it, I haven't heard of Radio Disney for years, but there was a point in my life whenever I would drive to the city, which is San Francisco, for those of you who don't live in the Bay Area. Whenever I would drive to the city with my friends, we'd cross the Bay Bridge. I don't know why I would put on Radio Disney as we crossed the Bay Bridge into the city, just to annoy and terrify my passengers. And it was very fun. I had a good time doing it. That's it. It was weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the Walt Disney Company has been spending the better part of 2020 restructuring its media empire in hopes of surviving the impact that COVID-19 is having on its bottom line. We've already seen a shakeup over at Disney Plus and with some of Disney's movie divisions. But the latest news hits a segment of the vast empire we had all pretty much forgotten about: Radio Disney. Beginning at some point in 2021, Radio Disney, along with its counterpart and lesser known, if that's even possible, Radio Disney Country.
Oh, okay. I
We'll
didn't
stop.
realize that.
Yeah, neither did I. We'll stop broadcasting, resulting in 36 layoffs, which isn't all that many people to lay off, considering that it's 2 stations worth of employees, man. The move comes at a time when Walt Disney Company has been very clear about its pivot to streaming its movies and TV shows, so the fact that Radio Disney is getting shuttered should not shock anyone. In a statement, Disney mentioned these changes are to help, quote, sharpen its focus on increasing production of kids and family content for Disney Plus and the Disney channels. Radio Disney began way back in 1996 and helped launch the careers of some of pop music's biggest stars, such as Miley Cyrus, the Jonas Brothers, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift, and more.
I think Miley Cyrus is who I meant to say. Like, Raven Simone is what my brain produced, and she does sing.
She does sing, and she was, part of Radio Disney's sort of catapult into, into whatever music or whatever. She was on there, and got a lot of play from that. Justin Bieber was on there too a lot.
Yeah.
Spears, of course, Justin Timberlake. It's like all that kind of tween.
That whole cast of characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then in 2015, someone had the idea to spin up Radio Disney Country, which was confined to digital platforms only. Oddly enough, Radio Disney in Latin America will not be affected by these closures. So apparently, the Latin American market is either lagging behind in how Disney's producing its streaming content for like the US, but they're still going strong.
I'm surprised it isn't just one global thing and they just like push it out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man.
I would have thought it'd be centralized. Well, I guess you have to have different language. You can't just have some
language, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of English crossover, but also it's probably making enough money that it can just sort of sit there on its own and, keep yelling into the void, so to speak. And, by the time the streaming options catch up to Latin America, because they do release that stuff in stages, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, part of the greatness of Radio Disney was how the division worked with the Disney Channel to blend content between the two. Songs from the hit show Hannah Montana would play on the radio side, pushing teens and preteens to content otherwise not on the radio side, and vice versa. The impact of no longer being able to rely on this feedback loop of sorts won't be known for a while, if at all. Now, Disney's relying on their streaming, TV, and movie division to create and cultivate that preteen demographic that its radio shows help reach. That link in the chain might end up being more important than they think. So I was reading a little bit about it, and what they would do is they basically sort of created a demographic for themselves at Radio Disney, and then they fed into that demographic on both sides with the Disney Channel music and then the Radio Disney stuff, and kind of fed everything, right? And it was a really good self-sustaining kind of ecosystem. But now, if you take the Radio Disney side out, where are people going to hear that, or is there an outlet for these Disney Channel songs?
So this was Radio Disney, if I'm hearing what you said, is it was both a digital radio station like Spectro, and also it was on the FM band?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So it's
and
still
it's gone in both.
It will be gone in first quarter of 2021
From both.
for both. Yeah, it'll be gone.
Huh. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised though if it maybe finds its way onto Disney Plus, because like if you have any cable system like we have Comcast, right? You can go on the deeper channels like Music Choice or whatever, and they
Right.
have, Latin hits and hip hop and whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney Plus had a channel like that, a category for Radio Disney, and they just streaming.
I'm shocked it doesn't already.
I know, that's a pretty good idea, right? Thanks, man.
Well, until they do.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, there you go. Say goodbye to Radio Disney. Get all your sugar-coated Disney hits while you can.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of music, you know how I'm like so into rap, right?
You are the biggest rap guy I know, and I like about you is we like to text each other different lyrics to rap songs like Future and Gucci Mane and stuff like that. So
those guys, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for me.
It is. We do have a lot of fun in our text.
We do.
Well, my affinity for rap is why this next story hits so close to home. It seems a rapper from the group Pretty Ricky has been arrested and banned from Walt Disney World for life for punching a cast member in the jaw and the temple.
Wow, dang.
Yeah. Spectacular Blue Smith.
Is that the cast member's name? Because I would really like that.
No.
It's like Maynard at the Tiki Room has his own name.
Spectacular Blue Smith, who goes obviously just by Spectacular. It's way too long to say Spectacular Blue Smith. And this is not to be confused with Nighttime Fireworks Spectacular, the other Spectacular we know and love. Is also known for his part on Love and Hip Hop. Spectacular Blue Smith was entering the line for a ride at Disney's Animal Kingdom recently when he caused a bit of a kerfuffle. As the rapper approached a nearby cast member, he allegedly fake sneezed and simultaneously said coronavirus.
Oh.
Or maybe it was a cough. How do you do? He was like, coronavirus.
Yeah.
I think that's what he did.
What a jerk.
It's kind of just like, can you just not stop? Well, the cast member who saw it didn't like it and spoke up and told Mr. Blue Smith he didn't think it was a very funny joke.
It's not.
It is not. According to reports, at this point, the cast member attempted. Well, so what he said was, he's like, I don't think that's funny. And then the rapper said, or Mr. Blue Smith said, I do think it's funny. And then,
he got him.
Right. And then the cast member goes, well, you're going to think it's hilarious when I pull you out of this line. That's allegedly the tit for tat that went on. And I feel like, I also feel like point for cast member.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's some witty repartee back and forth. So at this point, the cast member attempted to remove SBS, Spectacular Blue Smith, from the line, and then blocked him from proceeding using his arm. At which point it is alleged Blue Smith punched the cast member twice, once each in the jaw and temple, knocking him to the ground. The cast member believes he was unconscious, and upon examination and CT scan at a nearby hospital, was diagnosed with having a concussion from the incident. Spectacular Blue Smith was subsequently arrested for misdemeanor battery and was released on $500 bond. The incident was confirmed by 2 witnesses who said they heard the argument, and another 2 witnesses who say they saw Smith punch the employee.
Well, yeah, of course. How do you miss that?
Right. It's like these lines are so crowded.
Yeah.
Smith's son, who was with him, reportedly told police that his dad had accidentally lost his balance, causing him to apparently strike the cast member not once, but twice. I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it points to the kid for not dropping a dime on his old man. He slipped, officer.
Is that what that means? Dropping a dime is snitching?
Yeah.
Snitches get stitches.
They really do. Yeah, they also get banned from Disney World, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm such a klutz. I can't tell you how many times I have fallen and then just absolutely punched someone in the face multiple
Leveled someone
times.
twice. Yeah.
You just it's like, I don't know. It just happens. Smith has since spoken out about the incident via Instagram.
Whoa, the preferred platform to speak out against battery charges.
Right, like you guys have the press the what did you guys what do you have that over there?
Press room.
The press room.
Yeah.
No one's been in the press room in a while.
No one's really screwed up, which is good. To see the press room is a deterrent. Nobody wants to go in there.
Yeah, I kind of do. I like all that camera click sound.
I mean, say just screw up then, and then you have to go on, and we'll put you in there.
Well, on Instagram, Spectacular Blue Smith said, quote, "The media will put out a one-sided story even without facts because they enjoy demonizing our culture and bringing us." Well, he wrote bring us down. I think he meant bringing us down. It's sad. There's two sides to every story. And since this story is bigger than me and the color of my skin, I'll wait till my attorney gives the green light. Thank you for your support. Love. P.S. Y'all know my character.
So he's pulling the race. He's saying this is a racial thing.
This is
he punched the guy twice in the head because the guy wouldn't let him advance in a line.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like a character thing. It's not. I don't think it's a cultural thing or a race thing at all.
Well, it's a behavior thing.
Right.
If you do this, you get kicked out. Sorry. And also
talk to, like, you know what I mean? The guy was just like, that's not very funny. The cast member was saying, don't joke like that.
Right.
That was it. It wasn't even, you can't get kicked out for that. They weren't going to kick him out for that, but he had to escalate it to violence.
Right. I mean, I a little bit think the cast member, some of the, and I don't know, I wasn't there, but I do feel like I see some of these cast members are on a bit of a power trip.
Yes.
You see that.
One thing I think the cast member, where the thing went wrong is the guy, he was like, well, he's trying to stop the guy from advancing in the line with his arm out. He was challenging the dude a little bit. Excuse me.
Right.
Challenging the dude a little bit. But it still didn't need to be taken to, I mean, that was like a 4 where you put your hand out, and then being punched in the head twice is a 10. It didn't need to go there.
Yeah, surely no matter what, that he didn't deserve to be punched twice in the head and knocked unconscious. Yeah. And this is the other thing that gets me, and this is just a general comment on how people speak and act, is people, like he says, you know my character. Well, your character isn't what you say you are. Your character is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't go punching people in the head and then be like, yeah, you can't say I'm a good person and then act like a jerk.
Right.
That's your character's what you do.
Right.
So that just annoys me. Smith is scheduled to appear in court in January. He seems to be claiming that this incident is more about the color of his skin, which is sort of just what we said. He may be found not guilty by the courts. Of course, this is still hasn't been adjudicated, okay. But Disney is not beholden to what the courts decide. They maintain sole discretion over who can come and go in their parks, and so they can decide over his lifetime ban, regardless of whether he is found guilty or not in court. But I would think, you've got 4 witnesses, a medical diagnosis from hospital. I don't know how he's going to get out of this. Smith is not only known for his work as a rapper in the Pretty Ricky group, but he is also been on, I guess there's a show called Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
Which he was on. And he actually received a lot of praise a few years ago on social media from his fans. He is quite a well-known entrepreneur. He currently owns and operates a company called AdWizard. This is a California-based company that manages and monetizes the accounts of more than 100 actors, musicians, and athletes. And in 2018, he enrolled at Harvard Business School. So he actually is seems to be a business person. Yeah, he's not an idiot. So right. I think maybe his temper just got the better of him that day.
Yeah, well,
now he'll have to probably pay. So that's what happens at Animal Kingdom. A little violence, thanks to Spectacular.
Well, look, man, Disney is holding true to form, and they're trying to remove all of the Spectaculars from the parks.
You can't see any spectacular. You can't see Nighttime Spectacular. You can't see Spectacular Blue Smith.
No, you can't. And really, what's the point anymore? Well, Jeremy, I'm sure you've heard in California's attempt to slow the spread of the coronavirus, Governor Gavin Newsom has issued a statewide stay-at-home order once again. This latest round was triggered by an increase in the amount of patients needed to be admitted into the ICU due to COVID complications. When a region in California dips below the 15% threshold of ICU capacity, they fall underneath these guidelines. Currently, Orange County ICU capacity is at 10.9%. Or 11.1, depending on whatever site you use. Overall, the capacity in Southern California is 14.2%. So just barely below that 15% threshold, but it is sort of rapidly falling. And that Southern California region is called Region 5 for anybody who wants to keep tabs on this kind of stuff. So therefore, everybody got thrown into a stay-at-home order. The stay-at-home order lasts for 3 weeks and affects businesses all over the state, including the bustling downtown Disney and its Buena Vista Street extension. Starting today, all Disney restaurants that do not serve to-go food will close. So Carthay Lounge, Award Wieners, which still is the funniest name for a Disney-owned restaurant I can think of, plus a few others that I've never heard of, are shuttering. As for the retail side of things, this is what the stay-at-home order states. Retail, allow indoor operation at 20% capacity and 35% of capacity for standalone grocery stores, with an entrance metering and no eating or drinking inside the stores. Additionally, special hours should be instituted for seniors and others with chronic conditions or compromised immune system. So that's like your grocery shopping or whatever. Jeremy's gone. He left.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something's going on with my camera. I'm getting like a spinning thing. Sorry.
Right.
As long as you can hear me.
I can hear you. That's fine. And then for shopping centers, they can allow indoor access at 20% capacity with entrance metering and no eating or drinking in the stores. Additionally, special hours should be instituted for seniors and, blah, 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 blah. Everything else has to get shut down. So I don't know. I think it's, it could be a lot worse. They're definitely not closing down all the way. But I think it's good to just give everyone some breathing room inside of these places. Who knows? But not to be super bleak, because the future is bright once again, because Disney is giving us stuff to do while we're all stuck at home. Over at the Disney Parks blog recently, some genius posted a video from the 2019 Candlelight Processional at Epcot, hosted by Neil Patrick Harris. So go make some eggnog, head over to the Disney Parks blog and check that out. I've never seen the Candlelight Processional. I've always wanted to go, but now I can watch it online officially from Disney, which I feel like is going to have better audio than some of these Disney blog travel sites or whatever. We're like, here's a shaky webcam at 4K, Candlelight Processional, and 3/4 of the back of my wife's head.
Well, you can watch the Epcot version.
Well, that's what you can watch it normally.
Well, they have broadcast it in the past. I mean.
Oh, okay, all right.
So if you wanted to see it on like real camera.
Okay, because it sounds like they record them every year, because this is the 2019 Candlelight Processional they just re-uploaded. So I don't know if it is already out and they're just sort of like upvoting it or whatever, amplifying it more, or it was previously unseen. But anyway, there you go. Kind of cool. I'm excited to go watch it, honestly.
Very exciting.
Yeah. No, and the marketing chat's like, I don't really feel like the Disney World one will be as good as Disneyland. And I think you're right, Mark. Having never seen either of them, I think I agree with you 100%, because Disneyland just has that more like intimate feel to it than Disney World. I mean, you go to Disney World, you're like walking through a parking lot to get to a ride. It's weird.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that your story?
That's my story, man.
Okay.
It was like, I felt like it was important to talk about the COVID stuff, but like, God, I'm so tired of it. It never gets any better. It's just getting worse. It got better one time, and now everything's just worse, and I hate talking about it. So I had to polish it off with the Disney Park blog thing, and here we are. Now it's your turn.
Okay. Well, Speaking of Walt Disney World, when Walt conceived of his Disney World Florida project, he saw a city of the future complete with futuristic transportation, including a modern jetport, people movers, and high speed monorails. Well, it appears Disney World again will be associated with futuristic transportation. The company Brightline, private private operator of a high-speed rail service in southern Florida, announced a deal with Disney World to build a high-speed rail station at Disney Springs when it extends its high-speed service from its currently operating Miami to West Palm Beach line.
That's cool. I like that.
Yes. The station will be part of a line that connects Miami to Orlando International Airport and eventually the Tampa area.
Wow.
So, the high speed train operator has been hard hit by the pandemic, having not run any trains since March, but they are not stopping with their plans. They have plans to construct a high speed route from Los Angeles's Union Station to Las Vegas that would get passengers there in 3 hours.
It'll never happen. For some reason, with California refuses to build any sort of like appropriate travel thing, man. They've been trying to build a high speed rail to go down to LA from like not Mendocino, Manteca, I don't know, whatever, somewhere Lodi, somewhere in the Central Valley, for years, man. And it's never gonna happen. I feel like it's never gonna happen.
Hmm. Well, we've already got it going to West Palm from Miami, so this is happening. South Florida, South Florida to Central Florida is expected to begin operation in 2022. So not very long before that line is complete, but there is no specific timeline for the Disney Springs stop just yet. But
Where does it stop in Tampa? Because I feel like Tampa is huge. Because it'd be a cool place for people to leave the grounds and then go see what else Florida has to offer. I guess I don't know.
well, Tampa is a bit. Tampa's the would be like the last stop on the line, so it would go Miami, Boca, West Palm, Orlando, and then curve over Disney Tampa.
Okay, got
It
it.
kind of looks like a candy cane.
Okay, nice.
So Tampa's will probably is the furthest one out.
Okay, got
So yeah, but that area, if you've ever driven from Miami to Orlando, there's not a lot there.
it. No,
It's like just stretches. I mean, it's the Everglades, so those roads you can, and they like open up the speed limit. You can really fly on that. It's just a long straightaway, so it's perfect for high speed rail.
well, they don't call them Everglades for nothing, Jeremy.
They're going to be the Neverglades.
Whoa,
We keep building transportation.
damn! I didn't think about it like that, but you're
Oh,
right.
that really hit you hard. That's it. That was my other story.
Well, that's good, man. I think we hit some good news going on over there.
Yes.
We're doing a lot more writing on the website, on the Years Up podcast website. Eric has been throwing me some news stories over there, which I appreciate a lot. And
He's so prolific.
I know for sure. He's doing a good job. He just wrote a story about Disney is yet in another lawsuit. I think is what it is up to at this point from someone who like did a bunch of novels for them, and they're like, well, it's not in our contract, really. I don't know. It's a whole thing, but anyway, you can check that over there on our Disney News section over there. He also did a thing about how Bob Iger wouldn't mind moving to DC and work for the Biden administration, which I don't know about that. I mean, I guess Bob Iger's smart, but he doesn't really seem like a very progressive man. You know what I mean? Unless they want to build a weird, a weird attraction to DC.
Well, has he been asked, or is he just throwing his hat in the ring?
He's throwing his hat in the ring, I think. I don't think he was asked or anything.
Doesn't he have his hands full? Like he's still a chairman of Disney. It's not like things are going so well. Like maybe stick around and do like this is what you know. Maybe just kind of like sort through this.
Well, right. There's that. I mean, I don't even think he's planning on leaving until next year. But I guess that's how you sort of get jobs. You say something off the cuff in a nationwide interview, and
Right.
it gets picked up, and then gets in the ears of the right people. I mean, that's how Prince Harry or whatever got Meghan Markle's the job with the Disney Adventure or the Disney
Oh,
Wildlife Show or whatever.
remember that interview?
I never
Oh, it was
saw it. I
oh, we talked about it on here. He
we
was
talked
like,
about it. Yeah,
it was so awkward.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
I felt bad for well, I mostly felt bad for me watching it, but I felt bad for everybody because like he looked like a loser. And then I felt bad for Iger because it's like stop wasting this like this guy's busy. And you're like putting him on the spot. Like I just felt bad for everybody.
Right. There are ways to do this that don't involve this.
Right.
You
And
know?
also, in that conversation, he wouldn't let it go. Like you should, if you do say that, like just be like, yeah, like she would love to do something like that. All right, well, it's nice seeing you. But he was like, no, I'm really serious. Like she really wants to. Like it's like okay, like I'm not doing interviews right now. It was so weird. I hated it.
It was creepy. It was weird, man. But what are you gonna do, right? All right. Well, I think that's it, Jeremy. I think
I
that's
think
it.
that's it.
There's not a whole lot going on. Disney World seems to be the only park left standing, and we'll see. We'll see what shakes out, man. Hopefully things can get back to normal soon with this vaccine. Huh?
Are
Excited.
you ready? Are you gonna take it?
Of course, I'm gonna take it. But so I was talking to Taryn about it. Because looking at the studies, what little information they've put out that I've found, the short and medium term side effects are nil. It's very rare that people even get headaches from them, so that's good. But when the side effects are bad, you're like teeth chattering, for half a day. So that sucks. But the alternative is different. But people are like, oh, what about the long term health effects? So far, the science isn't bearing that out that there are any at all.
Right.
So that's cool. But anyway, so I'm fine with I would even wait a couple of months. Like I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I'm not like an active part of my community or of my community's economy. So I sit at home. That's all I do. That's what I do.
Yeah, you've made it this far.
I made it this far. So I'm fine with, and the reason I'm saying this is because, Taryn is like healthcare adjacent technically. So I think her company could get the vaccine, and I think that they would vaccinate the family. They haven't really talked about it yet. So if that happened, I would necessarily not even. I don't need it. But maybe I can reserve it in case I wanted it in a month. But just let it mixture through. Let it trickle through. I'm very curious to see these numbers come down. I think that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a relief. It'll be like a joyous occasion across the country, across the world, quite frankly, that the U.S. is finally lowering their numbers through science, which is funny. But I feel like I don't know, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I was given the opportunity, I might pass, and if as long as I'm guaranteed, like in a month or two, just let.
Well, I don't have 100% understanding of this, but my understanding is, and I could be wrong, but that the more other people have the vaccine, the less critical it is that you have it.
Well, from what
they're not passing it around.
Well, from what I understand, you can still pass it around, or they don't know for sure 100% yet. And so, everything that I've read is you can catch COVID, you won't get sick from it, but you could pass it on to other people, which is part of the reason why they want everybody to be vaccinated. Because if you're not vaccinated, you're still at risk.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then we want to get it.
We want to get it, yeah. So, but I don't know. I could be wrong because there's 3 vaccines. There's 3 vaccines.
Yeah.
And more coming. I just read some article today, or I read the headline. That's what I do. When I say I read an article, I usually didn't. I read the headline.
Great.
They're still learning about this. They're still learning about COVID and maybe like some protein chains that can help defend it and all this kind of stuff. So maybe in a couple months we'll have another breakthrough, or maybe some other vaccine will be more effective.
Sure.
Who knows? I don't know, man.
There's an article in the New York Times this week, maybe it was last week, and it basically was like, find your place in the COVID vaccine priority.
Oh, weird. Okay.
So it sort of talked about like how they're deciding who's getting it and whatnot. And then at the end, you could put in your age, and it asked maybe like 5 or 6 questions, and then it would show you a really long list of like people. Like it just shows you all these like images of people lined up. I was second to last. It was like every American except for one person is ahead of you.
Yeah.
I was like, and then it goes through who the groups are. It's like medical healthcare workers, young children. But interestingly, like homeless and prison inmates are also a higher priority than I am, which I was a little miffed at.
Well, and then I've seen some articles, saying we should have people like you vaccinated first because you're
Just
going
awesome
out,
people.
you're flying. Yes, that's what it is. You're flying, like the chances are higher of like asymptomatic spread. Like it's just those kind of people, you kind of people.
I know. It didn't ask me like how often you travel. I don't think they care.
It should have. No, but I think it still should have. Like if you are blending in with other people, I feel like that is a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they said it wasn't 100%, but they're like, this is what this is what it seems, and these are the recommendations of a lot of bodies of health, so that this is what we think it will be, but it could change.
Well, I mean, so far we only have enough to do 50 million people, so it's not that many.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, someone in the chat saying that I am right, so already I love it. But the vaccine will stop the disease, but not necessarily the infection. So if you get the vaccine, you may still be able to spread the virus asymptomatically. So I don't know. That's
got it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then we've got to, and everybody needs it.
Yeah.
Well, and then to that point, more importantly, the people who do have the comorbidities and the risk should definitely be the ones who are getting it because, right?
Well, and I mean, if you talk about obesity as a comorbidity, 40% of no, heart disease as a comorbidity, I think 40% of Americans have heart disease. So you're like, I don't know, man. I feel like comorbidities are kind of like tough in our country because we have a lot of them. We have a lot of vices. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's weird. It's just going to be the next 6 months are going to be so bizarre and kind of cool, honestly, to watch the numbers go down. Watch these like frontline healthcare workers get a break.
Yeah.
I mean, like I just it's weird. It's just a weird time. And anybody who tells you that they know for sure what's happening or how the thing should be, nobody knows. We don't know anything. We don't know anything. But I thought about for the first time the other day, like maybe we should start booking travel because travel's probably going to be cheap. Book an airline flight, book a vacation or whatever.
Yeah, do it.
And then there are going to be people who don't get the vaccine, but the way it works is like then if you don't want it for reasons, right? Because you don't understand the vaccine or you really think Bill Gates is going to put a tracking chip in your arm or whatever the hell it's going to be. Then you're on your own, kid. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, book your travel now because you can, if you book it, depending on the airline, I think I was looking at JetBlue the other day. If you book before February 21st or some date thereabouts, you're still in the window of you're not subject to a change fee. So book it now for September or whenever it is you want to go. Like Bev could do that. And then since you booked it this early, you can change it.
I'm going to try. I know Taryn looked at Southwest and they weren't booking anything past March.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe that's a problem too.
Yeah, which makes sense for them. I mean, because you're probably going to get a lot of these like, let's just book now, honey, and then we'll change it in a year. It'll be fine.
Right. They're like, well, we can't plan like that.
Rate. Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, I definitely understand.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here, Jer, huh?
Let's go.
All right, let's. You know what I'm going to say? Let's go. No one's ever said that before on this show, but I just said it. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it very much. Thank you to everybody in the chat room for hanging out. It was always fun, as always, I guess. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you want to help support the show, head over to patreon.com/earsup. And if you join at the $12 level, you can hear my recent interview with Ted Ramey, voice of the San Jose Earthquakes, hanging out over there at the proper tier on Patreon. It was cool. It's an extra hour. So, look, if you're looking for extra podcasts, we got a ton of secret shows over there on Patreon where we drink and curse. And then we have, a couple of these cool people doing cool things, interviews that I've done, and a whole bunch of fun stuff over there. So join the community over at Patreon and help keep us lights on for the things. Okay? All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. And until next time, be safe and be nice to each other, please. Don't go punching people in the head.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do it. All right. I'm sorry I can't see you, Jeremy. I don't know what that's about.
It's annoying. I think so. There's two Wi-Fi's in this apartment, and one is 5G and one's not. And I think I was on the non-5G one. So let me stop. I just want, because now this is just annoying me. I want it to just work.
Yeah. Hi, Karen.
See, I don't think it's that though, because
yeah, I don't know. He's explaining right now, but he's not explaining very well.
I think it's Ring Central, or I don't know. I get the spinning wheel. That's what's happening. See, I'm getting the spinning wheel again.
Throw some bitters in it, like 8 splashes. Thanks. That's weird, man. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping it's not this computer just being fucked. Just bought it a year ago.
Call. Just try leaving the call and then rejoining. Or have you done?
Okay, hold on. Let me leave. All right,
let's do that. All right, good. Now that Jeremy's gone, guys, we can talk shit about him. So anyway, that guy, wow, what a weirdo. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know, whatever. We're just gonna hang out for a little bit. And that's what we do after. You guys want to hear what Pretty Ricky sounds like? That stupid. I mean, I feel like I've heard of them, but it also looks like they haven't done anything in a while. So that's not them. Yeah, wow, this is their song. It sucks. It is. Oh, this is terrible. This song sucks. Oh, here he is. Oh, so he was in a boy band. It's essentially what this is. It's not even a hip hop group. It's a boy band. Because they're doing dances and stuff. All right, well, I don't know where Jeremy is. So, this is getting weird in the chat. Grind with me. Well, I think they did Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Yeah, woof. That part, that chorus or whatever would have been auto-tuned. Like this part right here. No. Right here. That would have been auto-tuned for sure, and it would have sounded a little bit better, but that's I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm glad that guy got banned, to be honest. Why can't you join back? Okay, well, Jeremy's giving up. I'm going to give up too then. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging. Blame Jeremy.